It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here. I woke up at 3. Yesterday I woke up at 4. Um, so I decided to go ahead the one day and I was cutting up pills. I don't have a pill cutter, I'm just using a knife. So I kind of like ate the dust off of the back of my camera, or no, my cell phone. And said, okay, that'll be my middle of the day dose. And then this was 2 days ago when I woke up at 4. I was like, well, that's close enough to what I was talking about before. It was like, if I can get my sleeping schedule straightened around, I'll drop the middle dose to a quarter of a milligram, or a quarter of a pill, which is 2.5 milligrams. And so I don't remember, it's like 6 o'clock at night or something like that. I took what was supposed to be my final dose for the day because I've been going to sleep early. And then I didn't go to sleep until pretty late. But my heart felt weird. So I went ahead and took third dose on top of the, I guess would be the fourth dose, which was just like the crumbs and the dust of cutting up about 10 pills. And then yesterday, I cut a pill in half in the middle of the day. So 5 milligrams in the morning, 2.5 in the afternoon, and then 5 milligrams at night. So yesterday would be the first day that I cut the middle pill in half. A problem that I'm encountering is my knee is not appreciating my new devotion to exercise, and it got very painful yesterday, and it's somewhat swollen. I'm going to wrap it up when I get off of here and go out and lift weights, but it doesn't like me lifting weights. I have to do some stuff that takes balance, so I raised the weight up. So I'm strong enough to do this stuff. I just, for the standing exercise, I don't have balance, so I'll probably have to get like a second set of barbells and some more weights, instead of just using the same amount of weight for everything since I got the bad knee. But anyways, yesterday I was doing like a deadlift and I just fell over backwards and threw the weights down out of the way so they wouldn't break any more on my toes, and fell on my butt, and that was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I made a nice crash. I got back up, picked up the weights, did about 9 deadlifts. It's really about balance. You deadlift, you just lean over at the waist and straighten back up, but that's a balance thing. So, anyways, I cleaned out this room. When I cleaned out this room, my leg was so painful and so messed up that it was like I had to be real careful not to fall down and stuff. I cleaned out the room and it's not responding very well to increased activity, which I feel will be necessary to this withdrawal process that I'm going to go through for 2 months, because this is for keeps. I mean, it's got to end. It's going to end however it ends, you know. And yeah, it's not a matter of relapsing into an addiction. It's a matter of the amount of suffering that I can take. It's a matter of like, can I get shit done while I'm withdrawing? Can I tend to the other matters in my life without a lot of support? Excuse me. I also breathed in a bunch of dust, part of which was bed bug poison. I did not think this out, but it was warm out yesterday because, again, crazy warm winter. So when I started cleaning up my room, I cracked open the window a little bit first, and then I got the broom, and I had like the way the dust in the bottle, the bedbug poison slash diatomaceous earth dust works was like you can't control how much comes out. So there's like a bunch of it that's always been along the spaceport here, and I was sweeping it up, and I think I breathed in some of it, and I started making clouds with it, and I was like, oh fuck. And I opened the window up all the way, but what I should have done is I should have put the fan in the window blowing out. But yeah, it's like I felt myself wheezing and stuff after I got done cleaning my room. So I think I kind of poisoned myself yesterday. And I spread down a whole bunch of this Glade Carpet Fresh stuff and tried to make it smell less like a monkey cage in my monkey cage in my prison. And so yeah. But the main points here is like dropping my dose. My knee is not liking the increased exercise, which means I probably will have to address the knee. Another issue I have is like, can I do this and I don't have assistance? It's, my life is all on me. So it's like, can I do this? Can I withdraw and still take care of business? Still do the doctor's appointments and still keep on top of my life. And will the knee have to be addressed? I thought about doing that this week. Is kicking off. I should do that. Making a call to my old orthopedist to send the records to this new last chance orthopedist at Omni. And, if they don't do anything with my knee, then, like I said, things are going to get really complicated, because that's the last orthopedist in the area that covers my insurance. So by in the area, I mean like in like 100-mile radius. So, like I live about 70 miles or so from Lake Erie. Cleveland's right up on Lake Erie, the Mistake by the lake, they used to call it. I don't know if they still do. So I can go as far as Cleveland, I know, but I don't know how much wide of an area my insurance covers. I think I talked to my insurance care source lady, and she said that was you can go to this guy, and I checked off the list, and that's the last one. So, but with the way my knee is now, it hurts with me just sitting here, let alone walking on it. Between the walking and the lifting of the weights and the house cleaning and the being more active, and I don't think I can take it any slower than this. I mean, I'm lifting 5-pound dumbbells. I started out with 5-pound dumbbells, and I moved all the way up to what am I doing now? 15-pound dumbbells. I can lift 100 pounds. I did it. I can lift up the end of a couch. It's like I'm strong as an ox, upper body wise, but my knee doesn't give a shit about that. It just doesn't. It's like I can't take it any slower than that. When am I gonna lift air? When am I gonna do like calisthenics, like like a geriatric? I mean, not that I'm getting close to a geriatric, but I'm still 52 years old. Shit, my dad was chopping down trees and doing lumberjack work when he was 52 years old. And he had a ridiculous smoking habit and drank coffee that could only be described as espresso would run from that coffee in fear. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, but I get my day started and go do that stuff. See if the cat came in for the night. great thing about this winter being warm is the cat goes out a lot. I don't have to mess with his litter box. I don't have to mess with him. Frankly, if he didn't exist, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I'm responsible for him, so, you know. It's not that I don't like him. If I could farm him out for a couple $100 and give him away, I would. But I just feel more responsible for him. It's like I like him, but but you know, I'm not in a position to take care of any other living creature besides me right now, and I'm not sure that I can do that. And it's hard enough being responsible for me and acting responsibly. And yeah, they wanted, here, I'll throw this in here. This is really stupid. I can't seem to bring myself to do it, but they were like, once you get to be 50, they start bothering you, about colon cancer screenings. But they have that new shit in a box thing that you may have seen commercials for on TV. So I have a box that's been sitting. I don't know when my last doctor's appointment is, but I don't have to go to see that doctor again for at least another couple months. But I don't want to do that. I just don't want to mess with that. Partly because I got the depression going on, but the whole idea is not palatable to me to shit in a box and then give it to somebody to take to a FedEx thing and throw it in there. But it'll get the doctor off my back. And then, I'm also supposed to go see my heart doctor, according to this primary caregiver. And I'm not doing that because there's just no sense in it, They'll just nag me about it, and then they'll nag me about it, and I'll just keep putting it off. There's no sense in it. It's arrhythmia. It's not predictable. It's like when they gave me my discharge paper at the hospital. It's like, here's a list of all the things that may or may not cause arrhythmia. You expected to see leprechauns and fairies on the list somewhere, because they don't know. They know that some stuff like smoking and caffeine and stuff seem to be associated with it. Heavy caffeine intake and all that, which was interesting enough to me that, this is how much they know about it. You'd think they would not serve you caffeine while you're in the hospital with arrhythmia before they've shocked you for arrhythmia. But I would order coffee in the morning, and they did not serve me decaffeinated coffee in the cardiac wing of the hospital. Anyways, so yeah, I got to look at the paper and see if maybe that box expired or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's just more the fun of getting old is doctors nag you about these things. And it's like if I do ever get cancer, I'm checking out, because I already had like a catastrophic disease. It's like I'm not going through that anyways, but I'll do it anyway, just because you have to cooperate with doctors to a certain degree to get care. They're like, okay, you're not going to cooperate. Why don't you go see somebody else? So yeah, so I got this box sitting in my living room, and I guess, I don't know. Like I said, I got depressed. I'm withdrawing right now, which of course means I'm emotionally raw, somewhat mentally fragmented, and man, are people irritating. I talked to somebody on the phone, and I'm like, oh, because I'm just isolated here, I'm like, oh my God, people are so irritating. And I was like, oh. And yeah, I don't know what that was, but I got a call from somebody that was driving home from Cincinnati. I'm just pausing and stammering, basically, because I'm trying. I don't know why I try to keep people's identity secret, but I can try to keep their identity secret. But they called me at what was a bad time for me, because Valium uh, decided to give me a little break, allow me to have a little fun. And they called me like, of course. I'm like, ah, shit. I waited and not, that gross, and called them back. And they're like, oh, driving home from Cincinnati. And they're like, wait a minute, can I put you on hold? Got a call coming in from work. I'm like, okay. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit on hold and use up my minutes, my free minutes on this phone, so I have to pay for more minutes. They can call me back. And then I hung up on them and called them back, and then they went and pick up or whatever. I don't know what the deal is. I don't think there's any anger there or whatever. But that stuff does cross your mind. The people that I generally deal with, not being entirely sober or rational all the time, and me not being entirely sober or rational. But this is, it's very disappointing that my knee's reacting badly to this little bit of exercise. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. It's like my goal actually is just to get up earlier in the morning, since it's been decent outside with no snow and ice, and walk around a little bit with a cane. I was like, well, I might try a cane here. And then with my knee being like it is, it's like, nah, I'll stick to the walker. And I don't know if it's something that'll pass, or, my knee will get used to it. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm trying to remember what it was like, but brain being what it is, I don't remember what it was like when I tried to put. I do remember it blowing up and getting angry whenever I would like be active, and I remember working when I was taking Xanax. Uh, how long ago would that be now? A good while ago. But when I was before I found that doctor in it's been over a year. The December before last is when I found the doctor in December of 2018 that prescribed me the Valium. But when I was taking the Xanax, I remember like working out with it anyway, with my knee all swollen and stuff. And I don't know if it's something they can fix or not, but that's the thing that's, like I said, it's got me concerned, is like I'm not sure I can put my life on hold and just concentrate on let me phrase that another way. I'm not sure I can get the things done in my life while I'm getting off of benzos, but I am getting off of benzos regardless. This is it for me. It's like yeah cut the pill in half again today, and do that for a while, and then drop out that middle pill, and then 5 milligrams in the morning, 5 milligrams at night. I'm not sure where to take it from there. I was thinking sleep being what it is, to start trimming the pill I take in the morning, but that's thinking too far ahead. And then like consulting my the guy who prescribes the Valium about it, consulting him about it, and because I don't see him for like another month and a half. Yeah. Yeah, I also wonder, like, I'm thinking about scheduling a trip to see my brother for a couple of reasons. He's got my lamp that I like, for one. Do I have good lighting today? For one reason, to pick up my lamp. For another reason, just to go somewhere and to, like, be in someone's company. So, like, you know, it's almost like I cannot stand to be around people, to listen to people's voices, to talk to them on the phone. Got the edginess is there, and the lack of patience is there. Uh, I had a conversation where I was like, "Yeah, you ever see this Japanese movie, Yojimbo?" And talked about how it's a remake of. They remade it with the first spaghetti western from Sergio Leone that hit it big. A Fistful of Dollars is just that Akira Kurosawa movie, you know. Anyways, point being is I said all this shit, and this guy don't listen, so he just wastes more minutes on my phone by saying, "Oh yeah, that's the movie that they made a Fistful of Dollars over," and I'm like, "Yeah, I just said that." You know, I don't get nasty with him, like fucking wasting my goddamn minutes. You know, these conversations cost me money, and I did like say that to him. I was like, well, you just cost me like $5, or I said this conversation cost me $5. And then he was like, "Oh, I didn't know whether to call you because the last time I called you, you said the conversation cost you $5, And I was like, "Well, yeah, you know, we have long conversations, and that's part of why they're long. You don't fucking listen, you know." Um, ugh, yeah. Uh, I'm thinking about it's a way to get out of the house. I can use Sarda for that because Sarda works for like visiting people. You can use it to visit people's houses. You know, it works for that. It doesn't work too well for appointments, but it works for visiting somebody's house because, you know, you're at somebody's house. You're not sitting in a doctor's office waiting an extra hour, an hour and a half, or getting there 2 hours early or whatever. You just schedule it and you hang out at their house. You know, just to, I haven't seen them in a long time, and just to get out of here because I can't be healthy. See something different. You know, I was hoping to get out of the house by walking with the walker and then walking around the neighborhood with, not around the neighborhood, but just walking in the street with the cane, you know, and remembering how to fall because I'm good at falling and not getting hurt. I have had lots of practice. It reminds me of an episode of what was my scriptures in my youth, but the 1970s kung fu series starring David Carradine, uh, most known now, unfortunately, for death by autoerotic asphyxiation, and that's how now his memory's ruined for me. Like, well, my childhood's been ruined for me by also. So what difference does it make that being a part of my childhood? But the point being is like he throws a guy and then wins a fight in there, and this guy looks at him like he just did some kind of magic or something like that, and he just says he does not know how to fall. And it's like you got to know how to fall, and just because it's funny, I'll bring that up. Told that story before, of course, but I fell off of a porch that it had like 4 steps on it, so it wasn't like from way high up, but I fell into like gravel, which was extremely painful. But I know you don't try to catch yourself; you just roll with the fall, and you want to hit on like large muscle groups of your body. You want to turn and hit your shoulder and your hip, or if you can on your ass, like I did uh, here within the last couple of days when I dropped the weights. So I fall on this gravel and my brother-in-law's on the porch, and I'm just laying there, and he's like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" I'm like, "Ah, ah, I can't feel my legs." You know, he looked at me and he's like, "Man, you son of a bitch," because he knew I was fucking with him because I could never feel my legs. He knew that, you know, I got bad walking. Because he's the guy that told me, I was like, "Why are the cops always stopping me?" And me, you know, thinking that I walk normal because I could walk and I could walk anywhere. He's like, just because the way you walk kind of makes you look like you're drunk. So that's why the cops are always stopping you when you're walking at weird hours because they think you're drunk, you know. And I was like, well, I really watched myself walk. It's like I can walk for miles. This is when I was younger. But so, yeah. That was a joke that I played on him. But point being is, like, if I fall out in the street, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll end up with a cracked head or a broken wrist or whatever, because I know how to do it. But I also know that being trapped inside all the time make you go squirrely and make some people, I can live with myself pretty well. I have a pretty clean conscience, but your body now, it needs a change of scenery. It needs fresh air. It has these needs, and it also makes things easier for your brain. I mean, not everybody can survive being a shut-in, especially when you go from an outdoorsman to a shut-in like me. So I'm thinking, like, now that I'm kind of able to stay awake at least past dark, and I did wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but, went to sleep around 8 o'clock. So I'll schedule something with him to go see him and go ride the SARTA bus over there. In case you don't know what that is, that's a bus transportation that's available for crippled people. That's like you got your city transit bus where everybody can jump on it. But your SARTA bus is just supposed to be for crippled people, and it's curb service. So they come right to your door. And yeah, it's like it's I think it's $225 a ride. Yeah, it's $225 a ride. Haven't I just happen to have 2 rolls of quarters. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. But this is it. We're gonna find out what being off of this stuff is like. Me and you are gonna find this out. What it's like, what it's gonna be like for me being off of this stuff, because I'm going off of it. I want to do it here in this shithole. That the place where it all started. It's where it's gonna end, as far as actually taking. This is just me whacking my glasses nervously on my leg. Actually, not taking benzos anymore. Now, what I'll be like after that, I don't know. But it's just got to stop at some point. The longer you on it, the longer it takes to get off it, the more chance of BWS. We shall see. And yeah, saving money also. I got a list I'm making of various things that I need that I wrote on a gum wrapper, and it's like, how the fuck are you supposed to save money when you get I get $12.48 now from the government a month to live on, and I have money saved up. I mean, it's not that I don't have money saved up, but it's like I need to buy these things. But once you start buying things, that look, it's, as we know, it's much easier to get rid of money than to attain it. So, or to hold on to it. It's very easy to spend to acquire things, but these are things that I need to. I'm like, can't do without coffee. I have to figure out something about my partial plate. Figure out how to disinfect those. Cat food, always got to buy cat food. I need to buy paper and ink for the printer. That's about $40 right there, because I did not research my printer. And the ink for it is rather expensive. But yeah, so saving money, exercise. Can I withdraw, still function enough to get shit done? And the knee thing, very annoying. Anyway, whatever I covered in here is what I covered. I did my best. But yeah. So yeah, I feel like that was, what would you say, not necessarily concise, cogent, coherent. Um, my words did not cooperate and coordinate when I was trying to communicate, and I can't think of any more C words. And I think I'm gonna go. I'm making hideous facial expressions because my stomach is saying nasty things to me, which that is a symptom, unfortunately. It's listed, stomach cramping is sort of like listed on Valium withdrawal if you look it up. So that's why I'm grimacing. I always like that pronunciation rather than grimace. Grimace is that guy that's like part of the McDonald's franchise. To me, I like grimace. You know, just grimacing. It just grimace. It just doesn't express what the word represents properly, I think. So that's very important that you know that. Anyways, it's time to wrap up my knee. Go pick up some weights before I don't think I'm gonna eat first. I'm gonna drink some water and do what I can do. And I'll see you in a few days. Goodbye.